I think a lot of people are willing to put their pastor on a pedestal, and as pastors, we're dumb enough to sit on it.
You were active as a missionary to London. So a lot of the challenges you faced in London have to be really seen in what we're beginning to experience.
Like all things British, their secularism was so much more refined.
I went to the front, took my pastor by the hand, Dr. Frank Baugh, and he said, why are you here? I said, Dr. Baugh, I don't know. I said, I feel like God is calling me to do something for him, but I don't know. And I love Dr. Baugh, but I think he probably knew me because I was always a little mischievous. And I think he probably thought there's not a snowball's chance in hell that guy is ever going to be a minister. And so,
what's it like to be a disciple and a pastor?
It is always a push-pull on how honest and open versus are you want to share on honesty, but you don't want to lead anybody other. So there's always this push-pull bifurcation thing that is happening as a pastor.
I arrogantly would say to my wife, I don't know why, all these guys are having all this much trouble. Pastoring is really not that difficult. And I said that up until my last church. And this guy stood up and he said in deacon's meeting, I would like to make a motion that we terminate our pastor.
So I like to surround myself with guys who are just good dudes. And so while I didn't do my homework, I love to be around guys who did, you know what I mean? When I was heading off to college, one of them was a few years older and he was near the end of college. And he's like, Chris, here's my advice for you. When you're heading off to college, more people who say they have faith in Christ move away than at the end than at the beginning. And he's like, don't be one of the ones whose faith has left you. And he goes, the only advice I can give you is when you go to college, do two things. He was like, find a good church, make that your priority, find a good fellowship. But also when you're walking around campus, find the Christian guy who just impresses you the most. This is exactly where he said, go to him. And he said, he'll probably be a lot older than you. He'll probably be a senior, you're just a little freshman. But he said, find him and just tell him this, I need you to disciple me. And he goes, and if he is what he appears, he will either disciple you or find someone who will.
Larry, you have been the pastor in the senior chair and you've been working with a lot of pastors, but there's a real risk for pastors to be trapped in the idea of, I've got to keep a facade. What have you seen about facade and risk and its relationship to damaging pastors' discipleship?
Yeah, well, I think that is probably one of the key issues that we should look at today. And you got to remember that we are the third highest dropout rate of any professional, but a lot of it is created by self of trying to do exactly what you said and be the perfect guy and be able to help everybody and never hurt and never get discouraged. And then unfortunately, there are a lot of guys that they look for an out.
Larry, you just talked about how difficult it is to be a pastor. Mm-hmm. And I know that that's something that's deep to your heart. And you started Faith Foundry.
We put our foundation together, got our board of trustees, and had a mission that was very simple. We would take 5 young pastors, early career pastors, a year, and we would take them through a discipleship program.